the eye of the tiger. It's the thrill of the fight.
I think that's the wrong song.
Rico.
What's up?
Rico, Rocky, John Pierre. How you been?
I'm a little tired, but I'm doing fine. This weekend was our homecoming weekend. Which is mainly the reason why I'm so tired, because I haven't been sleeping this weekend. I've been studying and trying to party at the same time.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of subtracted the sleep out of the equation.
Did you tell me you went to sleep yesterday and today at 6 a.m.?
Yeah, I went to sleep today at 6 a.m. I saw the sunrise, basically.
What a ghoul. What were you doing? I know you went to that step show on campus.
Oh yeah, I went to the step show on campus, which was really fun. I had a great time there. Then I went to an after party at a friend's house.
Damn.
Then after the after party, we went back to my suite, and it's not like any art teachers or anybody listening to this. But yeah, we played Kings.
Kings? What's that?
Kings is a drinking game where you have a cup in the middle of a table, and then you have a deck of cards lined around the cup.
Mm-hmm.
And then each card that you draw signifies something that you'd have to do. For example, if you draw a 2, means you, so you get to pick somebody whom you want to drink. And another one is 8, which is date, who you pick to drink with you. So yeah, that's basically it.
Huh. So
you never played Kings?
I never played Kings.
What? Oh my god. We need to break you in.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So is there a winner in any of this?
There's no winner in the game.
Yeah.
If you draw... Okay, so basically the cup is empty. And whoever draws a king... Okay, whenever you draw a king, you pour alcohol into the cup. Because that's why the cup is in the middle of the deck. And whoever draws the last king has to chug.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
Well, you're a degenerate, aren't you? what a drunkard, huh? I love it. Yeah, homecoming was... By the way, welcome to the Clinch, everyone.
Hey, yeah, it's not the...
Yeah, this is
not the drinking podcast.
The drinking podcast. Yeah, yesterday was insane.
Yeah.
Most of the people, not most, but a lot of the people that came to the stadium yesterday, I don't think they were even from campus.
A lot of them were from campus.
Yeah. Because normally on Saturdays, like you say, it's a ghost town here. Mm-hmm. But it was crazy. I know we lost. I know our football team lost in overtime. 27-21, but they still let off the fireworks at the end anyway. Did you hear that?
They still
did you hear the fireworks?
I heard the fireworks for like the touchdowns because I was by the stadium. I was going to the train station to pick up a friend. Yeah,
it sounded like Fallujah. it was really from the Union. I heard it from the Union. It sounded like bombs going off.
It's crazy,
like a thunderstorm. But yeah, at the end they just let out the grand finale of fireworks, and it lasted for like 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty good. But yeah, man, very very nice to see an active campus on a Saturday day.
Yeah.
So I was with the School of Journalism helping out with their live broadcast. And speaking of which, I wanted to talk about this. Chris Algieri, he made an appearance yesterday at homecoming.
Yeah.
So Rico, can you tell people who Chris Algieri is?
Chris Algieri is the guy that is not supposedly, but he's fighting Pacquiao.
He's supposedly fighting.
Self-correction. He is fighting Pacquiao. He beat Pacquiao's sparring partner, right?
Yes, and former champion.
Yeah. So I didn't know that Chris Algieri is a graduate from Stony Brook University, and that's pretty shocking. And not only that, he does kickboxing also, so that's pretty amazing. He graduated from Stony Brook with a bachelor's in healthcare science, and he also has a master's from the New York Institute of Technology.
Rico, it doesn't sound like you're reading from a Wikipedia page at all.
Not at all.
So we did a little background check on Mr. Algieri, and yeah, he is a Stony Brook alum. So go on, man.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. 20-0 in kickboxing, and 20-0 in boxing.
Yep.
So he is the real deal. Yeah. So unfortunately, I didn't get to see him because I heard of his appearance after the game when I was at the Union, and one of the people who just recently joined the kickboxing club, his name is John. He does boxing. Told me that Algieri showed up, and that he went to Stony Brook. So
Newsday, they have a video clip of Algieri at the homecoming yesterday, and let's just play that clip right here. Jesus.
Oh, wow.
Is that him?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So right now they're showing Algieri just going around and giving autographs.
It's homecoming. We're playing William and Mary. We expect an absolutely sellout crowd. The weather
He
couldn't
seems
be
pretty
any
down
better,
to earth.
and we're really excited for football today. But what makes it really special, of course, is homecoming, not just for our football team, but for Chris Algieri.
They're giving him a
It's a real experience driving up the roads that I've used to driving every single day for 4.5 years.
That was
it's great to come here and be welcomed by the president and the academic advisors and just coming out to the field and having the players wave. It's been a very, very interesting and surreal experience so far. Wow. This is literally an exact replica of my championship belt. It has my name, the date when I won it. Also, on the top of the belt, and tonight, I want to actually begin a scholarship starting in the fall semester.
He seems like a pretty cool dude. I wish I was a boxing champion and a Stony Brook student.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I know. He seems very personable. Like he was going around and signing people's faces with markers and writing like "Go Seawolves," and brought his belt to the stadium. His WBO, what is it? Junior welterweight championship.
Oh man, this is. Why did I have to miss this game?
You're not a big football fan, right?
I'm not a big football fan, but I'm a supporter of the team. I have school pride, so I make it, a priority. Except for this year, to make it to the homecoming game, it's a great event. I love my school.
Hey Rico, do you work for them?
What? I'm just telling the truth, and I really wanted to make it to the game, but I had academic priorities to take care of. I had to study for exams coming next week, so yeah, I can't push that aside for a homecoming game.
Yeah,
but Chris Algieri's there. I could have, I think I would have, not postponed my studying a little bit for that.
Yeah. What would you have done? Just like
Chris. No, I wouldn't have done all that.
All right, but
I think I definitely would have approached him, especially now that I know that he did kickboxing too.
Yeah. That's the crazy thing is let's just read it off right here. Kickboxing career. So after high school, he was a coach at St. Anthony's Friar wrestling team, and then he went to Stony Brook University and concentrated his athletic prowess to full contact kickboxing. Wow. He then started sparring and training with Tim Bring the Pain Lane after competing an undefeated amateur career that culminated with a USKBA Northeast Championship. He decided to turn pro at 19, and this is kickboxing. And then he retires from kickboxing later on to pursue full-time boxing. And he is a scholarly man.
For real.
Yeah, man. I mean, good for him. It's nice to see such a wealth of champions come out of Long Island in all combat sports. You got Chris Algieri. Everyone knows Chris Weidman.
Yeah.
They actually both live they come from the same neighborhood. Weidman right now is in Huntington. Same thing with Algieri.
Neighbors.
Man, I gotta fucking move to Huntington, man. That's where
the fight.
What are they drinking over there? What's in the water over there? And then you have Dennis Bermudez, who's a UFC featherweight contender. What do you think says about this new trend? You think it's just inevitability? What do you think? How would you describe it?
Oh, with these fighters coming
from Long Island of all places, this middle of nowhere.
I could understand that there's a big wrestling culture.
Yeah,
in Long Island.
Yeah, I mean he did wrestling. Algieri did wrestling.
Yeah, Algieri did wrestling too. And it says that he was pretty good at wrestling as well. So I could understand that there's a big wrestling culture in Long Island. And usually it's kind of like more like a white collarish kind
of. You can say that.
More like a northeastern New England kind of sport, wrestling.
Yeah.
So you'll see a lot of wrestlers doing this. And I think it's coincidence, to be honest, to see that we have Bermudez, Weidman, and Algieri coming from this region of fighters. I mean, if you go down to like Florida, there's a lot of fighters around that area too. So I think it just happenstance that they're successful and they all come from Long Island. But it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I can drive to his house.
Yeah.
Let's not do that though, because
you probably have to fight him.
Yeah, I'll probably. Oh man!
But what do you think?
I think it's because you're right, the big wrestling culture, and I think because the UFC, a lot of the fighters there, they come from a wrestling background. It's almost like wrestling at that young, grade school level. There's this understood idea that you can take this and bring it into and turn it into perhaps a future MMA professional career. Because there isn't the professional wrestling. There is professional wrestling. That's WWE. Mm-hmm. The cap for wrestling ends in the Olympics. After that, you got to resort to coaching or who knows what. So it's understood that these guys, they can take their wrestling prowess and turn it into something bigger. Yeah. And it gives them the confidence, I think, to pursue other combat sports and the work ethic too. Like if your mindset is, I'm going to take this thing and turn it into something, a career, then you can take that and explore other opportunities like boxing, like kickboxing. Yeah. You know?
Chris Algieri is a bit different though. He did start off with karate as is.
Oh yeah, it says how at the age of 10 he studied Chinese Kenpo.
Wow.
Huh. He's been a martial artist his whole life.
Yeah, basically.
That's what Tyrone Spong of Glory wants to do. He wants to be a champion in all three, MMA, kickboxing, and boxing. And he can kind of make the claim he's close to... We were saying, do you think Chris Algieri would cut it in MMA? And I think, he's 30 years old now, you know? But I don't think he wants to, personally.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if he started a little earlier.
Yeah, but that ship's kind of sailed.
Yeah. He wouldn't be... Okay, yeah, probably. He'd probably be wrecked in MMA.
He'd probably be wrecked in MMA.
But he'll know what he'll catch on.
Yeah.
He'll learn. He wouldn't be a fish out of water. Because he knows how to wrestle. He can strike. He can punch and kick, so...
Exactly.
Yeah. He just need to learn submissions. And he probably does know submissions. He probably does roll during his free time, so...
Yeah. You might see him watching one of the UFC events live.
Yeah.
So, what was I about to say? We just saw highlights from his fight with Ruslan Provodnikov, which is really the fight that put him on the map. Provodnikov is this Siberian monster that no one wanted to fight. And he was the champion, and Algieri just outboxed him later on in the fight. He got dropped twice in the round 1 and round 2, gathered his composure, and then started picking him apart later on. So, what do you think his chances are against Manny Pacquiao? Shoot it to me straight.
After knowing all this, I still think Pacquiao might win.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I know he's from Stony Brook and all, but I gotta keep it real. Yeah. You know, Pacquiao's on another level.
And for my own selfish reasons, I kind of want Pacquiao to win this fight.
And what are those? What's motivating that?
Because I want to see Pacquiao fight Mayweather. That's why.
Yeah, that's what.
After Pacquiao fights Mayweather, then I would like to see Algieri, succeed.
Beat Mayweather and Pacquiao. Yeah. That's what no one said at yesterday's homecoming. Is like, dude, like, people want to see Pacquiao Mayweather. Can you lose? They should have been like, what's ahead if you lose this fight. But
I think they tell him that at homecoming.
I know, right?
We love you and all, but you kind of want to see Pacquiao Mayweather.
What a dumb thing it would be for for President Stanley to say that. Yeah, I want to see like that Pacquiao Mayweather matchup. So if you lose this next fight against Pacquiao, I'd appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming to homecoming. That'd just be a better matchup for me. I love to see. That's how he talks. So that's how Stanley talks.
Oh, he really talks.
No, I'm joking. I actually caught a glimpse of him yesterday. My first time ever.
I never.
He was like this close, as close to you are as to me. And why am I talking like he's a celebrity? But he was pretty damn close to me.
To be honest, Stanley has a little bit of celebrity status in the school. Like the president at my old school where I transferred from did not have that kind of.
Oh yeah, he was like a sparring partner. But good for him, He's a pretty good-looking dude. No homo. I just had to...
This guy is in love.
I got mad and secured him. No homo! No, but he is pretty... What? Yeah.
Jimin is in love with Algieri. He's been talking about his looks for like the past hour.
What?
Yeah.
No, What's interesting is like everyone says how he never had to pursue combat sports. He's well educated, has a master's, and but he chose to just get into fighting from a very young age.
For real. And I don't know how he pulls it off. I don't know how he didn't balance that off. But I guess you could say it's quite the same for like a student athlete.
Yeah.
So.
A lot of successful fighters, they juggle a lot of things. Like GSP, when he was fighting, he used to manage things for Under Armour, Hayabusa, have a gym, UFC Magazine, all that shit. But I'm sorry, Pacquiao's just gonna win this fight. Pacquiao is a legend. He's just another caliber.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the pressure of fighting a man like Pac-Man, it's something else. Like, he's an icon.
Yeah,
Pacquiao is a boxing, arguably the most popular and most recognized face today in boxing. You think he's more popular than Mayweather? Because they were saying like he's the most popular today at Homecoming yesterday. Pacquiao.
I think it depends on the group.
Let's let the promo talk it. What the heck is this shit? I'm sorry, Rico. I'm sorry about that. I thought that was the official Manny Pacquiao Algieri promo. Is this it? No, that's not it. Alright, scratch that. No editing on the clinch. We go straight through. Damn, where's the... Is this it? Nah, it's not here. But the promo looked pretty cool. I was checking. They were playing it on the scoreboard all yesterday. But we'll see, man. So, let's just watch a few fights of Algieri kickboxing.
Look at the long pants.
Yeah, so Algieri is fighting this Scott Muckdeman guy in kickboxing. He must be only like, what, 20 here? Look at the... Algieri's rocking the dreadlocks. He's got cornrows, not dreadlocks. He got cornrows.
Got cornrows, earrings.
That's Huntington, baby.
What? You look like a white rapper. So, over here.
Damn.
I'm out there to win every time out. All right, it's a close.
Let me just cut through the middle of the fight. Damn. Oh, good right straight. This is interesting. It's like they have it between two teams.
Yeah, it's two.
Oh my gosh, that's so sad. That's like what the IFL used to do. So we're saying how each fighter looks like they're representing a team. And that each team has like a sign and a name. But damn, the Algieri's
Oh my god, look at the shoes.
Yeah, they're wearing shoes. Oh!
Oh no!
Oh shit! Oh my god! But remember, he's undefeated in kickboxing.
Yeah.
Algieri just got dropped with a vicious right hook.
This is not what I was expecting to see. Oh
no! Wait, did they call the fight? Oh no, the round ended, right?
Man.
Oh no, he lost. Yo, what's this about Algieri being undefeated? What's up?
I guess.
Never trust Wikipedia, man. Oh my goodness. That was a knockout.
Maybe since his teams.
Okay.
He technically won because his team won.
That's a vicious knockout. Okay.
Oh, I know that's World Combat, was it? WCL? Didn't, what's his name fight in that? I forgot his name. I'm forgetting names. The MMA fighter that fought in Tiger Showman's. That trains for Tiger Showman's.
Dennis Bermudez?
No, not Dennis Bermudez.
Oh, Uriah Hall.
Uriah Hall, yeah.
Yeah.
He fought in that promotion.
Damn, Rico. Did you see that knockout?
Yeah.
Chris Algieri just got knocked the fuck out by in kickboxing right there.
Okay, alright, so we wasn't expecting that. Oh no.
Does this mean you don't like him as much anymore?
I still like him.
you don't like Algieri anymore because he got knocked out. Damn, but I guess his kickboxing record isn't unblemished, huh? You can't really trust Wikipedia about that. Yeah. I bet people after Homecoming created this page for Algieri. Yeah, I mean his profile picture is him next to Wolfie. So yeah, hey, so
his profile picture.
Yeah, man.
Stalking on Facebook.
No, I'm talking about his Wikipedia picture.
Oh.
It's him next to Wolfie. I'm joking. It's not. But, okay, so that brings me to my next point. His fighting style, from what we just saw right there, it seemed pretty traditional striking-esque. He threw a spinning back kick there.
Yeah. Let's see that again.
Yeah, I mean, he's throwing a lot of boxing moves, like the liver shot.
Mm-hmm.
He's throwing punches like a boxer, but kicking like a Kempo artist. It's interesting. It's not like what we see in Glory. It's not very Muay Thai.
Yeah, very not. No clinch.
No clinch. Yeah, I don't know if they allowed that. Oh my goodness.
The thing about kickboxing rules is that it just varies from promotion to promotion.
Here they're throwing leg kicks though, which is good because the worst thing is not knowing how to check leg kicks and thinking you're unbeatable.
Oh yeah, there's kickboxing promotions that don't allow leg kicks.
That's ridiculous. Leg kicks are a game changer. Especially the Taekwondo guys who are light on their feet.
Yeah.
If you just smash their knees.
Oh yeah, forget
fucked.
about it.
Oh.
You just punch him in the face.
Yeah, but Algieri here is showing me he likes to scrap. You know? We're saying how he outboxed Provodnikov, but that wasn't like a clean schooling. Like a Mayweather. No one fights like Mayweather, but granted, that wasn't like a clean... He got hurt. He had this ridiculous hematoma under his right eye.
Yeah, he was
swelling like ridiculous. So, What do you think says about him as a fighter that he transitioned from so many disciplines and now he finds arguably the most success in boxing?
It shows that he's a well-rounded athlete and a well-rounded fighter. Everything he's taken up, he's been pretty good at it.
Yeah,
and I think he'll be just as successful if he's stuck with kickboxing. But he decided to stay with boxing. Maybe he has passion for that, or maybe for some other reasons. He just wanted to, to have a status as a boxer, and he just shows that. I think it's up for grabs for what he wanted to choose as his focus. He's one of those athletes that he had the ability to choose like what focus he wanted, and he would have done just as fine. But I guess he just picked boxing.
Yeah. You ever know those kids growing up in high school who were just all-around athletes who were both on the baseball, volleyball, and track team?
Yeah.
And they were not just decent, but excelled at all three of them?
Exactly.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Jack of all trades, master of boxing, But I think it's that wrestling foundation he started on. Wrestlers, they have, in my opinion, the hardest mental endurance because the toil of having to try to manipulate another man and control his body and physicality, that is a grind, man. It's unlike anything.
Nobody disputes that.
You and I, we were clinching. We're just neck wrestling for our kickboxing club. It's grueling. It's absolutely.
You think I'm grueling?
Exactly. We're not on the ground trying to dump each other on our heads doing suplexes. Wrestlers, they do that every day. You know?
Yeah, they're.
Like your arms get so heavy and drained. Like carrying another man's weight on top of you just so you can get the next point and then preventing him doing the same. Oh, God. And so like that builds mental toughness that you can translate to other disciplines.
Yeah. Nobody disputes that.
Nobody disputes that. Not even jiu-jitsu guys.
Not even jiu-jitsu. Because the thing about jiu-jitsu is about going for the submission from any position. Oh, I got bars. Submission position. And I got bars out here.
Bars.
So it doesn't matter like if you're on top or bottom. As long as you could grab onto something and make that person submit, you're fine. But in wrestling, you have to put the person on his back.
Yeah.
And you have to maintain that dominant position. So you literally have to like manhandle the person.
Exactly. It's not in jiu-jitsu, it's a game of going for the kill.
Yeah, it's really like a game of chess for jiu-jitsu.
Wrestling, yeah, it's all about control and manhandling. A perfect way to put it. So, right now we're just watching a clip of Chris Algieri sparring Marcos Maidana, who we've been talking about for the past year. Is that Maidana? Oh, damn, Maidana's fucking him up. But then again, Maidana is a bigger fighter who just fought Mayweather. So Algieri's still learning, I think. You know,
He's still learning.
I don't think this is a good time for him to fight Pacquiao. Man.
You think they just
This is not a good time for him because Pacquiao. This is a perfect fight for him because he just has to build up his reputation again after that one-punch knockout by Marquez. But when Pacquiao wins, which I think he will, we might see that Mayweather matchup. And right, this is a little clip of Pacquiao.
Yeah, Muay Thai skills.
So the video clip's called Manny Pacquiao's Muay Thai skills. And so
wow.
this is what would happen if Pacquiao fought Algerian kickboxing, I think. Let's see. This is funny, man. He's playing around, though. Oh shit, Pacquiao knocked my mouse off the computer. He's throwing a little teep. Oh shit, knees!
Oh no. He's not even trying. Come on.
Look at the punches, though.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. I love how like
the punches.
the knees and the kicks were shit, but the moment he starts punching, it's like world class right over.
But he was playing around. I think he didn't want to throw a real kick to be embarrassed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were saying earlier how boxers make more money, and I heard another guy yesterday say that during homecoming about Algeria, and I'm like, that's such a misconception, man. Pacquiao makes money. Mayweather makes money. Canelo. Even Maidana to a degree. Boxers need to make a lot of money, you know? Come on now. Like MMA fighters, yeah, I know their payouts, especially even in comparison to the biggest stars of UFC to boxing, payouts, huge discrepancy. But for the most part, neither guys are making that much money. You know what I'm saying? They work their way up to the HBO platform, and they still have to perform well on that platform for several fights for them to get even a undercard on a pay-per-view in boxing. I think boxing's more rough in a lot of ways because it's such an individual sport. Like, you have to make your mark in the game, and there's no one else pushing you, and it's a matchup of stars. In UFC, it's a brand pushing you. Boxing, like, there's no brand. HBO it's a medium. It's a TV station. The championships, WBO, there's no brand in boxing. It's literally boxing. UFC, at least you have something to fall back on, which is an organization which might hand you a few extra fights even after you go on a losing skid or something. Boxing, you're literally all on your own, like a freelancer fighting there. You know?
So, like, if you do horrible, you just not really know.
Glory's a brand. See that? Now, granted, if you start losing, they kick you out and you have to work your way back up. But at least you know the drill. In boxing, you're in limbo. You're literally, like, I know perfect example is this guy named Victor Ortiz. Did you see what Mayweather did to him?
No.
So Victor Ortiz, he made his name before that as this Mexican-American slugger. Retarded chin. And he gets to Mayweather, and in the fight, he loses his cool, and he headbutts Mayweather twice. And after the second time, Mayweather's pissed. So Ortiz is apologizing. He's like smiling, trying to pat Mayweather on the back. And then when they get back up to re-engage, after the ref breaks them apart, when they get to re-engage, Victor Ortiz leans in for another hug. And then the referee, he said, start fight, but Ortiz didn't know what was going on. Mayweather, after the hug, like, smiles back at him. Left hook, right straight, knocks him out.
Oh, I think I see.
You saw that shit?
And
Yeah.
then the spokesperson at the end was like questioning Mayweather about that knockout.
Exactly,
and Mayweather got mad.
Larry Merchant, right. Mayweather's like, Larry, you always give me shit about it. You don't know shit about boxing. You don't know shit about boxing. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, so what happens to Ortiz after that is, it's terrible. Like, the worst outcome you can have in the biggest stage of the world against a Mayweather fight, that happens. And after that, he loses a fight against this guy named Josecito Lopez, gets his jaw broken. Gets his jaw broken in the fight and loses that way. Gets his wired shut, has like a year hiatus, comes back, gets knocked the fuck out.
Oh yeah, forget it.
You know what I'm saying? So now, I saw him in the Expendables 3. He was like a cast member there. You see how, like, alone you are in boxing? This guy, no one was supporting him. Once you lose your status as worthy enough to fight for the big promotions, then you're completely irrelevant. Like, the irrelevancy drop factor is way steeper,
Nice.
He's a nobody now.
Look at Faber.
Who?
Faber, you're
at Faber?
Yeah.
I mean, he's legit, though.
I mean, he's legit, but he hasn't been winning lately, and they still show him love.
No, you're at Faber.
He just won the fight?
Yeah, he just won the fight. He beat Alex Caceres.
Oh,
He choked him out.
Oh.
The only people that have beat Uriah in the UFC is Dominic Cruz and Renan Peral. That says a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just, he's a weird case in that it's almost like he has to be content at this point of being number 2 for the rest of his career.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Like, these guys, Peral has his number, I'm sorry. Like how Weidman had Silva's number. And I think that's a great spot to start our next convo, which is UFC 178. And let's start with the championship fight. Because there were 3 fights on this, absolutely stacked card, arguably the best pay-per-view of the year. It was Demetrius Johnson versus Chris Carriazo for the 125-pound flyweight title. And Rico, just give us a brief rundown. What happened right there?
Okay, I need a reminder.
You already forgot the fight? We just saw it.
DJ won in the second round, right?
Yes, he did.
Oh, okay. So yeah. It was basically a clinic between DJ and Chris Carriazo.
Yes.
Yeah, in the first round, Carriazo didn't even land any hits on him, really.
Yeah, I mean, he landed that one hard leg kick.
Yeah, that one leg kick. And basically Rogan was saying, oh yeah, he needs to land that leg kick again, but that wasn't happening anymore. Second round, we see how DJ transitions from striking into grappling like it's nothing.
Yeah.
He just flows right into it.
Yeah.
And takes him down. Gets him in this pin where he has his shin on his arm, which is like a horrible position to be in, and just starts wailing on him. Gets him in that submission. I forget the name of the submission.
It went from a straight armbar to a Kimura.
Yeah, so he went from the straight armbar. Carriazo is contemplating of tapping out, and he refuses until he swings his leg over. DJ swings his leg over Carriazo's head, and then switches into a Kimura. Very horrible. He had no choice but to tap out.
So why I segued into this after I talked about how you have to be content with being number 2 is Demetrius Johnson's arguably the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world today. And there is such a disparity between King and next in line for the throne. It's retarded. Number 1 and number 2, huge difference in talent and skill level. Chris Carriazo was the second best guy coming into this. But look what Demetrius Johnson did to him. So it's almost like these guys, they have to realize once they hit the plateau of their athletic prowess that there's just too many, this mountain ahead of me is too far for me to climb. You know? It's too high and it's too far for me to climb. And this other guy's on the peak of it. I just can never reach there. Yeah. It's a shocking thing. It's like a reality check for a lot of fighters that when they hit this wall, when they fight an opponent and they just go, oh my God, I'm never going to be this good.
Yeah, no matter how hard you train.
They break. Like this happened with Kelly Pavlik and Bernard Hopkins. This was one of the best examples. Hopkins was like 45 at the time. Was not supposed to be beating this young... He was a white kid. Kelly Pavlik's a white guy from Youngstown, Ohio. A retarded knockout power, like a 25-year-old guy. But Hopkins schools him for the whole fight, just faster, smarter. Hopkins accumulated more knowledge through his career that he literally saw everything Pavlik was going to throw and do beforehand. He's just seen all the options possible in the boxing ring. Wow. That Pavlik just wasn't... As Hopkins said, I bring a chessboard into a checker match.
Oh, no.
That's what happened. And after that, Hopkins just eyes down the media who all thought he was washed up. So Pavlik, after that, goes on a couple of losing streaks. You know, and he never recovered from that fight. After that, before that fight, he was like the young buck, gonna be like the next big thing. Hopkins just put a stop to that with the quickness.
Yeah. You could say the same with like Miesha Tate.
Miesha Tate with Ronda?
Yeah, but...
True,
yeah.
true. Yeah.
Well, I think like everybody with Ronda.
Everybody with Ronda. I think Ronda can beat a couple of guys in the flyweight division.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, without a doubt.
Yeah. We saw that with Rich Franklin and Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
Weidman and Anderson. That says a lot, man. That's a tough... How do you overcome that, though? What happens if you, Rico, before you join Glory, were just a killer in these other divisions, and you fight Andy Risty and you go, oh my God, how differently does this guy train that I'll never be this good? Like, what do you do after that?
Man, I think you just have to like just realize and then just be content that...
what a bitch mentality.
I mean, after a while, there's a point where you just, after a few fights, not like just right away.
Word, yeah.
But like you push after a while, but then it reaches a point where it's like you really can't do anything about it. And, you know, your time is up and you just can't beat that person.
Yeah, you just need more lifetimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You either have to start at a retardedly young age, or you need more lifetimes. Yeah. Also, another thing is, people don't want to say this, but physical attributes, it's so much of the game. You know, everyone, when you say you're limited by how big or how athletic you are, they go, man, you're just making excuses for yourself. Well, guess what, man? Steve Nash is 6'3", okay? Muggsy Bogues he had retardedly strong legs and athleticism. Size matters. Strength, speed, all that, it's DNA. So much of it's DNA. You know what I'm saying? You can't deny that. And that's why I sometimes admire guys like Algieri. You look at him, he's not an athlete. He looks like, honestly, if no one said that's Chris Algieri yesterday, he would have blended in right with the frats.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I'm saying? From the back, he would have looked exactly the same like anyone. But a guy like him, with nothing special about his body, with just education in fighting, proper coaching, becomes a star, becomes a boxing champion. That's what I love about the sport, is that you can always find an exception. It's hard, but there are. More so than in basketball. Fuck an Asian guy ever, except, you have to be 7'6" in basketball to even be realistically relevant. You have to be 7'6", man. Come on now. You know? That's why if I ever have a son, and he tells me he wants to join the NBA, I'll enroll him in jiu-jitsu right away. Right. So just to redirect his passion into something more profitable or more realistically rewarding. You know what I'm saying?
True.
That's why I joined the kickboxing club, because I spar with I spar with big guys. I'm forced to because I'm so small. Every opponent I fight's big, and there are times when I do better because I've just done it more. Experience technique.
Exactly.
You know.
I think that's what I love. That's what I love about fighting and kickboxing and jiu-jitsu. Skill is really skill and experience is really are important attributes.
Yeah.
In fighting, so yeah, I like that about it.
Because
I'm also athletic too. You know, shoot. Gotta put that out there, but still.
What sport do you do outside of fighting? We never talked about this. That's so shocking. We never talked about this.
What do I like to do outside of fighting?
Yeah.
Nothing. No, that's not true. That's not true. I was in high school. I was on the track team.
Yeah.
So I ran in high school, and I was on the soccer team for my junior and senior year.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, we talk about that. Soccer. Fuck the track and field, because that's just running. Soccer, let me talk about that.
Soccer? So yeah, I was a midfielder when I was on the... Yeah. So, I gotta add in this, the track. I like my track.
Yeah, I just talked... Damn, that was some rough things I said
used to
around
tell
this
me,
track right there.
Okay, I got a confession. My mom never went to any of my track meets, but once I was on the soccer team, she showed up. That's not cool. But yeah, when I was a freshman, I started with cross country, which I was horrible at. I'm horrible at long distance running. When we moved to indoor, which is like running inside the track, I was good at sprinting, so I was okay at sprinting. Outdoors, the same thing. I was okay at sprinting outdoors. Did that for my sophomore year. Won a lot of medals. Junior year comes, right? And I'm like, I want to play soccer, right? Because I used to play soccer like for fun. I played soccer when I was in like in elementary school. I was in this like summer camp thing, and I played soccer a little bit. So I knew I was okay at it. So I joined the soccer team in junior year. Played for midfield. I did good. Yeah. Partially because I could run.
Right.
So
stamina.
I had stamina, and I was aggressive, and I was good at that. So I played that for 2 years. I made a few goals, but my team.
Goals! Shit.
Yeah.
That's big, because I remember not getting a point when I played for my school basketball team. Go on.
No points.
Nah, I got a few rebounds. No, go on, man.
No, it's hard for a midfielder to make goals.
Yeah,
it's not easy. But yeah, my soccer team wasn't so hot because I was in a small school, 150 students. So
wait a minute, your school had 150?
150 students.
How is that even possible?
That is possible.
Was it a private school?
Private school.
Oh, word! You went to a private school?
I went to all boys school.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Yo, I'm just learning this about you.
I went to all boys school, and it was 150 students.
Damn, I'm sure that was why you got into so many fights.
Yeah.
I can imagine that's like a really testy environment, man.
Yeah, it is testy.
Just dudes, just a bunch of hormone-driven dudes in high school.
A bunch of dicks.
A bunch of.
That's what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's rough. So, like, the first time... So, how about middle school?
Middle school, I went to private school in middle school. But
so, all boys again?
No.
Okay.
Not all boys, no. Middle school and elementary school, it was combined, because I went to Catholic school.
Oh my god, you bougie motherfucker!
I'm not bougie.
I'm joking. Damn, dude.
Yeah. So yeah, middle school was co-ed, and it was small too. We had like 300 and change.
Wow.
For middle and elementary.
Do you when you chose soccer, do you think any of your martial art? Did you do martial arts before that?
Play fighting.
Play fighting, okay, but after
about
after soccer, did you see your skills in that translate into kickboxing?
Maybe just the aggressiveness sometimes.
Okay.
Definitely stamina. That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's one thing that really helped me out in kickboxing. I don't get as tired because I spend a lot of time running in track and in soccer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that's one of the main things. Kicking, I mean, I could kick a ball, but the kicking technique is quite different.
Mechanics, yeah.
Yeah, the mechanics are quite different. I mean, you get that swinging motion if you're doing like a far kick. So, yeah, so that kind of translates a little bit in Muay Thai.
Right. That's fascinating. We should have talked about this on the Clinch #1. I don't even know my best friend over here.
Yeah.
Private school and shit. And soccer teams and midfielders. Midfielder's a defensive position, right?
Midfield is like in between defense and offense.
Okay.
So, it depends on like how the game is going.
Yeah.
If the opposing team is putting a lot of pressure on you, then yeah, you're gonna play like a more defensive role. But if you're doing well, then you're gonna play a more offensive role. So yeah, so sometimes you'll see midfielders like making goals.
See, like there's so many points. We should just have a podcast dedicated to your profiling Ricardo or John Pierre, because I don't know what point to pick. I'm going back from soccer to your male. All right, what was it like going to an all-male high school?
Okay, so I should have went to co-ed, to be honest.
You say that so sadly.
I went to the school because it's called Cathedral Prep Seminary. So here's another reveal. It was close to my house. It was walking distance.
Perfect.
So my mom was like, "You're going to this school." I'm like, "Okay, it's here. It's right next to the mall. It's right next to my house. I could just walk to school. No hassle. Don't have to worry about paying for the bus or having a student metro card." And yeah, I just chose that because it made a good impression on my mom. It made an okay impression on me in the beginning. But I was kind of apprehensive of the fact that, I had to be open to the idea of priesthood. So let me tell you a little bit about... Okay, I'll tell you a little bit about my school. So my school is what you call a high school seminary.
Okay.
And we had 3 in the nation. Then it went down to 2. And so my high school is the last high school seminary that exists for those who are interested in becoming Catholic priests. And basically, they train you into becoming a priest, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So you take classes like Latin, you take theology, you take Bible study, stuff like that. So yeah.
Can you drop some Latin on us?
I could read it.
Ine Kune, chocolate almond day.
What you saying?
I'm just reading that cereal box on my table.
That's Pig Latin.
I don't know. Damn, go on.
So I could, okay, I could sing in Latin. I could read certain phrases.
Sing in Latin right now. Sing!
Alright. I'll say a prayer. I'll say, Pater Noster, qui es in celis, sanctificetur nomen tuum, adveniat regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua. Oh man, I forgot the rest, but that's the Our Father in Latin.
Oh my god. Yo, Rico, that's some cool shit right there.
Oh, for real?
The girls will love that. That was some Boondock Saints shit.
Oh, for real?
You ever watch the Boondock Saints?
Oh no, I haven't seen it.
Whenever they kill someone, that's what they say right before. They whisper some Latin phrase. They go, Spiritus Sancti. That was slick. I love it. Damn, how long did it take you to memorize that?
I used to say it every day.
Wow.
I used to pray that every day.
That was some Da Vinci Code. Wow, man.
But I forgot half of it. So I'm gonna bring that back.
That was. I never. Rico is an interesting man. He's a well-traveled man. Jesus Christ. All I know is like I know Konglish. I know Korean. I know English. You know,
Alright.
but that's cool. Latin shit.
I had to take the Latin Regents. I didn't take.
You didn't. You just didn't.
I didn't take any like some. Don't you have to take like language for Regents?
Spanish. I did Spanish. Ace that shit.
Oh, nice. I had to take the Latin Regents. That was my Regents.
So Rico, let's not. The elephant in the room is that you started fights every day at a Catholic high school for priests.
Every week. Okay, there's a
Oh my God.
There's a misconception that people get when you tell them that you go to a seminary.
Mm-hmm.
That the kids are, very, very reserved, very pious, and that's quite the opposite. Cathedral Prep. I mean, it's a good school now, but when I went to Cathedral Prep, it was a lot of kids that got into the school because it's easy to get into.
Yeah.
You just tell them, "Oh, I'm open to the idea of becoming a priest," and then they just accept you.
That's wrong. Yeah.
Not saying that the school is full of delinquents, but because they don't go easy on you in terms of academics, but still, there's a lot of people that was in the school just there because it was easy to get in and they had no intention of becoming a priest.
Man, I can picture like a little crew of kids from a Catholic school with they're in the priest collar rolling around in a hearse. In the hearse, ga Corona, motherfucker.
We didn't wear any collars.
Do you have one in your dorm room in the closet?
No, I don't have no collar.
He brings that out. He brings that out for every job fair.
We had to.
That's awesome, though.
We had to wear suit jackets and basically we had to wear like business attire, but the shirt had to be white, so we could wear any tie of any color, any suit jacket of any color, and any dress pants of any color, and any dress shoes of any color. So that I kind of like that about the school.
Let's just end with this. Any plans on pursuing a career devoted to Jesus Cristo?
No. Nah. Sorry.
Nah. It was just a school. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. No one's worshipping fucking Wolfie going to Storybrooke. That's such a dumb analogy, but I got you.
Worshiping Wolfie.
Yeah, there's probably a shrine dedicated to him in some kid's dorm room right now.
Probably.
There has to be at least one, right? There has to be at least one kid that does that.
Yeah, probably.
Like keychains and fucking hats, the whole memorabilia in his room.
I think I seen a picture of Wolfie with a halo. in Tabler.
Yo, we got so off topic there.
Yeah, we did.
God damn, but that was so interesting. I couldn't not talk about it. Okay, here we go. So
next time we're profiling you, though.
Oh man, there's nothing to profile about me. I just like kickboxing and writing. More so than kickboxing. Writing's a job. Nah, it's fun. Okay, so Demetrius Johnson, only guy that stands a threat to him is John Dodson, which is obviously his next opponent. So let's just go right into it. Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. Oh my goodness. For those of you who have never seen Conor McGregor fight, do yourself a treat and watch this man tonight. He is something special. You ever see a fighter that comes in and he just glows? Like he has an aura about him that lets you know this guy is something unique. Chris Weidman had that when I saw him. Anderson Silva when he fucked up Lieben in his first fight. They just stand out. They're like a blip on the radar, and Conor McGregor is one of them, man. He's a special fighter.
Yeah, he really is.
What did he do to Dustin? So Conor McGregor before this only had three fights in the UFC, and just after his by his second fight, the UFC gives him a when they shut off all the lights and they give him the entrance music and the walkout, the UFC gave him the whole supply, the whole package. He wasn't even on the main card in Boston. They did this for him. In the third fight, he headlines the UFC's Fight Pass. He broke the record for the most Fight Pass event views with that card when he knocked out Brandao. Now he finally makes it to the pay-per-view main card. He's just on a rocket ship, man, to the top. And after 3 fights, he fights the number 5 guy in the UFC. Dustin Poirier is a tough motherfucker. This guy's been around the block. I don't know how many wins he's had in the UFC, but I believe
Let's see, let me guess, 20. No, more than that.
No, like he's
20 though.
He's way more experienced than Conor McGregor in the UFC.
Let's see.
So I'm looking at this. solid contender, man. He fought in the WEC. Oh, he lost that. But no, buddy, no. Fought in the WEC, UFC. He's been fighting with UFC since 2011. Conor McGregor just joined like 1 year and a half ago.
Wow. See that winning streak?
Exactly. He was on a long winning streak. He actually spoiled this guy named Josh Grisby in his UFC debut. Grisby was supposed to fight Aldo at the time.
Oh, really?
And that lets you know how long Aldo's been champion.
Wow.
But then he spoils that, and then loses to Korean Zombie, which, I don't mind. And then very close fight with Cub Swanson. But he's only lost 3 times in the UFC, man. Okay, and all those fights were very competitive. Except this one. This one. Damn. So Conor McGregor knocks Dustin Poirier out in the first round. Like it's nothing. Made it look easy.
And he called it, didn't he?
He called it. He's like, I'm gonna knock this fool out in the first round. You hear me? And everyone's like, all right, sure. You need a little more. You're too wet behind the ears. But even fighters are saying that. They were interviewing like Tim Kennedy and the UFC fighters. They were like, I think this is the first time we're gonna see Conor be challenged, and I don't think he has what it takes right now. In a few fights he will, but Poirier's gonna push the pace, take him down to the ground, and we're gonna see Conor what he has off his back for the first time. Nope, nada, none of that happened.
I want to see that post. I want to see them interviewed again and see what they say. That was ridiculous.
And I really take the most from what the fighters say whenever it comes to predictions. Guys who are in the mix, not retired, who are literally contending for their division's title. Because they predicted Weidman beating Anderson the first time. They predicted him beating him in the rematch. They beat Kane beating Brock. They know more than I think you and I do.
Yeah, they definitely
they know more. Or that's why they do what they do. So I thought, Poirier's going to win. I really thought he was. And I kind of felt bad because Conor, the last thing, especially after how much he talked shit about Dustin leading up to this, he called him Dustin P-Brain Poirier. And so then Dustin Dustin goes in the interview, he's like, what's a P-Brain? Man, what's a P-Brain? And then the Conor goes, that's when your head's a little teeny bit small for your rest of your body. That's what the P-Brain is. He talks so much shit. And he backs every word up. And he knocks this guy out in the first round. What happened, though? Like, could you break down the fight?
Okay, so, right at the face-off.
Oh, yeah.
We have Conor McGregor acting the fool. Standing in his Shaolin stance. And putting his hands out, palms up. And giving the come on kind of signal.
Yep.
And Dustin Poirier kind of kept his cool. Even though he was a little annoyed at that.
Yeah. Dustin Poirier, he's fucking good in stare downs too. He goes, you ain't got shit, boy. You ain't got shit. Dustin Poirier's a scary dude.
So, round starts. Conor McGregor starts off with the back wheel kick.
A turning side kick.
Yeah, it was a turning side kick to the head. I don't know if it connected. It didn't connect.
He went to the body first, and then he went to the head. Very smart. But the first one, it was okay. Got full extension, but caught him at the tip.
Yeah. And then they started exchanging. Dustin Poirier threw in a few good leg kicks.
To Conor's right lead.
Yeah. To his right lead. And I think that kind of like... It
didn't do shit to Conor.
But he stopped fooling around too much. He got a little more serious.
Yeah. He stopped when they got into an exchange and Poirier got the better of him. With that left, they're both southpaw, and Poirier caught him with a left straight off a flurry. That's when his demeanor kind of went, all right, here we go. This is a fight now. And the next thing you know...
Oh, yeah. Then they started exchanging. He throws 2 lefts.
Yeah, he throws he hurt him badly with a left straight, just a tight left straight that kind of put Poirier a little weak on his legs. And next thing is Conor... He was doing this beautifully. He was setting up it was a wheel kick, right? Wasn't it a turning wheel kick from his left leg, which forced Poirier onto Conor's power left hand. Just forcing him to his power hand, leading him to the punch. And then Conor does a left hook as Poirier ducks down, which is the proper defensive for that, instead of standing up and blocking with your hands. But in doing so, Poirier, even with his hands up, wasn't able to protect the back of his ear. Yeah. And when Conor connected with the back of his head, that throws off your whole equilibrium. And Poirier goes down, crumbles, and Conor just fucking unloads on the ground. Unloads.
He didn't even throw a lot of shots. He threw 3 shots.
Yeah, it was just heavy.
Yeah,
the one punch, and then from full extension haymakers from the top with his left.
Yeah, those were some assassination shots. So yeah, he definitely. Apparently, he does hit hard because that dropped him.
What lets me know is Conor has freaky power. Like, he has unnatural power. You look at his body, and a lot of knockout power comes from just physical gifts.
Yeah.
You know how, like, the old saying is, it's a mystery that where power comes from when it comes to striking. Well, I think some of that mystery just comes to physicality. You look at Mike Tyson, broad shoulders, ridiculous thighs, driving all that power from literally the earth into the knuckles. Rampage. But you can have good technique and deliver great power from it, but a guy with that physical, those physical gifts plus good technique just escalates a power even further, and that's what Conor has. His shoulders are ridiculously broad.
They are broad.
It's yeah,
he got like swimmer shoulders.
Exactly. It's like a V. His that's called a mesomorphic body. I have an ectomorphic body in that I'm lanky, I'm skinny, and I have a skinny profile, which is good because, you know, long arms, long legs, and I have good endurance. Rico is kind of in between like an ectomorph and an endomorph. Endomorphs are a bit rounder and a bit wider. They're stocky and short like Tyson. Mesomorph, they say, is the ideal athletic body, like what Jordan, LeBron has, where literally they have the Superman physique. Like their waist is ridiculously tight, and then everything from there just flares out to a V, like a cup. Yeah. And their shoulders are broad and their chest is strong. Conor's ridiculously powerful, man. Poirier absorbs hard shots. He can take it. Like, he took hard shots from Jung, but Jung ain't built like McGregor, who is big for that division too. You know, which is why he always says, once I'm done cleaning out, this is a terrible McGregor accent, so please. It's right. I gotta stop. But he always says how, like, after he sweeps that division, he's gonna move up to lightweight. I'm gonna challenge welterweights, and I don't think he's joking about that.
He's not joking.
Let's just.
Oh man, but do you have it?
Have what?
Oh, I thought you were gonna. Do you have it, the post fight?
Not of the. Yeah, I do right here. So this is him after the win, and Joe Rogan interviews him. Here it is.
But I wanted to come in here and put on a performance, and I knew these featherweights don't understand. Until they get hit by me, it's a whole other ball game when they get hit by me. So I said I'd knock him out in the first round, and I knocked him out in the first round. You can call me Mystic Mac because I predict these things.
You said coming into this fight that his movement was basic. What did you mean by that?
I just find that a lot of mixed martial artists get into like a rut of coming out with that Thai boxing flat-footed style. Against a guy like me that's in and out and light on his feet, and the angles are different. It's the old age. This is the new age. I wanted to come over here to America and show the American public the new era of the fighting Irish, and I brought my whole country with me. We don't. If one of us go to war, we all go to war.
Oh my God!
10%.
I fucking love this guy. He's the shit. Conor McGregor's the next big thing, man.
Yo,
and believe the hype.
Happy now.
Yeah.
I can imagine Ireland when this fight was going on.
Joe Rogan said in the interview how, Conor, they shut down Ireland for this fight. No one was going to their jobs. They're all staying home and watching.
Can you imagine?
Because what time would it have been there, right? Because here it's like a 4-hour difference. No, they were like staying up all night for it then, like 4 a.m., 3 a.m. Shit. So I wanted to show Rico what Conor was doing preparing for this fight. It's fascinating, man. He was doing...
Cut down?
I'll show you. Look at this. So Conor said he revealed an injury he endured in training camp after he knocked out Poirier. He tore ligaments in his right thumb.
Oh.
So he said how he was forced to train just solely on kicks for a few days. Just kicks for a few training days. And I'll show you what he did on those days. He didn't go to a Thai gym. He didn't go to a kickboxing gym. He went to a traditional Taekwondo karate gym and worked on his side kicks. Look at this.
I come down here once, twice a week, and I'm working my kicks, working my kicking game.
Get the eyes around first, Conor. Yeah, that's it. Conor wants his legs to be literally like a chap, like as good as his hands.
It's basically about having fun, you know. Just show up to the gym, you know, not taking nothing too seriously.
Want to break apart?
That's cool.
That's the way to be. That's a true martial artist, man. Yeah. I mean, he talks a lot of shit and he has a lot of bravado, but when it comes to the understanding of exploring techniques, that's the martial arts mentality, absorbing everything like a sponge. Because that's the way I think you and I do it. Because sometimes I've noticed Rico doing a lot of unorthodox things. If you think those are unorthodox coming from a Muay Thai fighter's perspective, like a spinning back fist, like turning heel kicks, like that. You tap me with that right leg, and then with the left, you hit me in the body in one move, like tap tap double kick at the same time.
Yeah, I know. That switch kick.
Yeah, exactly. That's something you don't see in Muay Thai. And guess what? High-level Muay Thai fighters, like this guy named Sanchai Sword Kingstar, he takes pages out of traditional martial arts. He does a fucking cartwheel kick, and he hurts guys with it.
Oh.
And he's like one of the best ever, though, who still fights. So I think you, when you start to grow as a martial artist, you realize I have so much more to learn and explore, and you absorb everything. You don't stick to one style. Bruce Lee said, "This I live by this." He goes, empty your mind. I'm sorry. He goes, close your eyes, empty your mind. Be like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bowl, it becomes a bowl. You put water into a teapot, it becomes a teapot. Now water can flow and it can crash. Be like water, my friend. That's like this. That's so true.
That is true.
That is so true. Bruce Lee said, when someone asked him, how would you describe your style? And he said, I don't really believe in style because I think when you do that, you form a crystallization of yourself as a fighter. That's like so fucking ahead of his time. That's why he's a legend. It's not because he's good looking. It's not. Goddamn, what's wrong with Chris Algieri and Bruce Lee? No. Bruce Lee's my boy. So Bruce, it's not because of all of his Hollywood movies. It's because as a martial artist, he had MMA notions back in the 70s.
Yeah, that's true.
In one movie, he was wearing MMA gloves and put a guy in an armbar. In Enter the Dragon.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That Jeet Kune Do, that's why when someone tells me they do Jeet Kune Do, I have more respect for them actually than when they say they do like Aikido.
Aikido?
Because Jeet Kune Do is what Bruce Lee made. Literally any martial arts that works in a real fight. From anything. Like even like elements of Wing Chun. So Conor, those kicks are getting better each fight. Those turning side kicks, those front leg side kicks. Like they say in the thing, he's trying to develop that as a jab. Like a teep. And that's harder than a teep because it throws your whole hip into it. I think Conor McGregor poses up. I said how after the fight, I don't think Aldo's sweating him. Now that I think about this more,
yeah,
Aldo has to sweat him.
He has to, bro.
Aldo comes from a very, Dutch kickboxing style. Good boxing, vicious kicks, rinse, cycle, repeat. He's developed more nuanced attributes to his boxing. Like he has a crisper jab now, longer jab. He slips way better. Works the body more, but at the end of the day, he fights in that glory style. You know what I'm saying? When Conor starts to move like that, I don't know what Aldo's going to do. But then again, Conor stands very sprawled out with his leg like a crab. Aldo can chop at those legs all fucking day.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? I want to see that fight now. You think Conor's ready for that?
Give him a few more fights before he fights Aldo, I think. Probably, yeah. Let him fight Cub Swanson.
Cub Swanson, that's the fight. Because Cub moves, like what Conor said, a next level fighter, a new era fighter. I think the perfect definitions of that are Conor, Cub, DJ, TJ Dillashaw.
Definitely.
Where what we're seeing now in front of our eyes is the sport evolve at a faster pace than ever before. Like in the microcosm, it's growing faster.
You have no choice in this sport, I think. That's what it is.
Exactly.
There's so many facets where you could just like evolve. And so you have no choice if you don't adapt new styles and evolve as a fighter, you're just gonna get run over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I read a Jack Slack article and it was called "Can You Spot Sloppy Footwork?" And it was the idea that does active footwork, fancy footwork, what most people think is good footwork, mean good footwork. And he said that no, it doesn't. Footwork is about what works for you in order to land your shots. Like what's his name? Joe Louis, boxers, they credit him for having some of the best footwork ever. But you watch him fight and you watch Ali fight, Louis looks sluggish and lazy and plodding forward. But if you watch him closely enough, every angle he took, as subtle as it was, led him to each shot perfectly. While Ali, like, danced, what's the old saying? Float like a butterfly, something like that. Exactly. So I'm not saying that you can't move like Aldo and not be a next level fighter. It's just, I think another aspect to this, what we're talking about, are fighters chaining wrestling from striking like it's one martial art. Like mixed martial arts as a martial art. No breakages in between your styles. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest part of it. Fuck the footwork. Fuck the switch dancing. It's that, I think. You know, and we're seeing that on another level. We've seen that all the time, but a lot of times what we've seen is guys flick a jab, go for the double leg. Now we're seeing 1, 2, 3, kick, takedown. 1, 2, 3, kick, switch, takedown. 1, 2, back up, takedown. It's so smooth. It's like butter. Especially, I think DJ does the best at that.
Yeah, DJ is very smooth with it.
Yeah. But Conor, I think another reason why he's so popular is because his fighting style is so dynamic. If he was a grappler, if he talked all this shit and he was a jiu-jitsu guy, I said maybe not a jiu-jitsu guy because he could some, but if it was like a ground and pound, like lay and pray guy, none of the hype would be here, right?
Probably not.
It's because his dynamic new fighting style. It's just refreshing to see. Damn, dude, we gotta up our game. That's why I try to move more now. You know, I'm not gonna give you my secrets, but I have this one thing that I do every fight. I'm not sure if you picked up on.
Nah, I pointed out whenever we spoke. Oh, now you have me thinking.
It's like I try, and it works because it's very unexpected. But it's the only time I'll ever switch stances. But Gokhan Saki, perfect example.
I'll see if I can catch on whenever we spar.
All right. Rico, you switch stances all the time, which fucks me up.
Yeah,
it really fucks. Because like, every time you do that, my brain has to. It's like a perfect analogy for this. I heard this from this guy named Conor McGregor. His podcast is a writer for Bloody Elbow. He said like the moment you fight a guy who switched stances, it's like going from player 1 side from playing Street Fighter to player 2.
Oh,
everything's backwards now, you know. But that's Conor McGregor for you, man. The hype's real. And to end UFC 178, Eddie Alvarez and Donald Cerrone.
Oh yes.
Damn, dude. Cerrone's looking sharp as ever.
Oh my god. I have to hand it to Eddie Alvarez for just weathering that storm. I mean, wow. He took a lot of vicious leg kicks.
Yup.
All those knees to the body?
Yeah. No, not Aldo. It seems like Aldo because he throws like Aldo, but Cerrone's knees to the body.
I said all those.
Oh, my bad, dude. My bad. Yeah, exactly. Cerrone's Muay Thai is just... Look, he's looking better than ever now. He's really hitting his stride. So we're looking at the list of contenders at lightweight. But Alvarez, for those of you who haven't checked out his fights in Bellator, for the longest time people called Alvarez the best lightweight fighter outside of the UFC. Much like how Gilbert Melendez was considered to be the best lightweight, even better than Frankie Edgar when Frankie was a UFC champ. Same thing with Alvarez. But it took so long for him to get over here because of his contract with them, because he held their belt down, because maybe he didn't feel like he was ready yet, or because he was making fucking the most money there. Like, think about it. If you're the star of a small organization, if you're like their cash cow, you're the cash cow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why would you sacrifice that and go to some place that started with stars? You want to be like the big fish of a small pond, but he realized, yo, after training with the Black Zillions and seeing what Rashad's doing with his career and Vitor, I think he had bigger aspirations. So he jumps into the UFC, into the deep end right away. Like, do you think it was a good matchup? By the way, Cerrone didn't knock him out. It was from unanimous decision win. But do you think this was too early for Alvarez?
I mean, after watching this, yeah, I think it was too early for Alvarez. Yeah, I didn't know much about Alvarez, so when you were talking about him, I was figuring maybe, he could win the fight. He won't be as dominated as we've seen, so I expected, since he was a champion of a different promotion, he could handle somebody at the caliber of Donald Cerrone, but that proved not to be the case, and Donald Cerrone really just schooled him. But then again, Donald Cerrone had a strong chin.
Donald Cerrone has a great chin. Always been known for that. He doesn't look like he does, right? Like
he doesn't look.
No, he has a great chin.
He has a great chin.
In his fight with Melvin Gillard, who's one of the hardest hitters in that division, he comes out a little too reckless. Like, he wanted to have fun and strike with this guy because that's what they agreed on. They're former sparring partners who are their friends, but they finally get to throw full contact in their life together. So, like, let's fucking do this. Left hook counter right off the top. Fucking Queer Street. His legs go out. He gets fucking knee to the body. And after the fight, he said to Melvin, he's like, you know what? That knee almost made me shit.
Oh, my God.
You almost need him that hard. And then, you know what happens? He gathered his composure and left high kicks him out, knocks him out.
Damn.
Knocks him out with a high kick in the same round. It's fucking crazy shit, man. I love Donald Cerrone.
He is cool.
I love him. But what do you think it says about the UFC? I mean, everyone says the UFC is the best in the world, right? The caliber of fighters, but this really showed that to me. Like, what do you? Can you talk about anything about that?
Like, I mean, this matchup really solidified the fact that the UFC has the highest caliber of fighters. Usually, I guess what other promotions try to say is that, you know, maybe UFC probably doesn't have the best fighters. They have other good fighters from other promotions. For example, we have Chris Cyborg, who's in the
Lion Fight. She's in Lion Fight now.
Oh, for real?
Or Invicta, I'm sorry. Invicta?
Cyborg?
Yeah, Invicta.
I'm talking about Invicta. Yeah, Lion Fight.
She does Lion Fight, though. She does Lion Fight.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she does know Muay Thai.
She's in Invicta.
Yeah. So, it always raises the question, does UFC have the best fighters? And
It's true.
It's true, basically. It's true. I don't know what to say. I
don't know what to say other than, like...
Yeah, it's obvious. It's obvious. We have Chris Cyborg that wants to fight Rousey.
Right.
And maybe that'll be another situation where we see the proof that UFC fighters are better than fighters from other organizations.
Wait a minute, that's the only doubt I have is if
Cyborg and Rousey.
I think Rousey can take her because her striking's coming along. Yeah. She's not looking away from shots. Yeah. She's not flinching, you know.
Cyborg looks like a beast.
No, I think what's gonna happen is Rousey takes that aggression and turns it into an armbar.
Yeah, basically.
Immediate takedown from the get-go. I'm telling you, immediate takedown. And that's an easy fight for her. Now that I think about it, yeah. You know, there's no UFC is the best, man. You know, and this is kind of beating a dead horse, but every single late night MMA show talks about, is the UFC a monopoly? Is it fair for other fighters not to have a second place to go? No, dude, like, come on now. If you want to be the best in the world, you got to compete with the best.
Yeah.
Steel sharpens steel, and if you're not willing to be the champion, why are you even in the sport?
True.
You know, like, well, why are you dabbling in joints in Japan? Which, by the way, this puts things in perspective. Champions right now in like dreams gone, but 1FC, like 1FC World Series of Fighting, tremendous fighters. They're great fighters, a lot of them, but compared to the UFC, they can't even cut the slack. Eddie Alvarez came into this fight. This is crazy. He was ranked number 14 right away in the UFC, ahead of Ross Pearson, who's a great UFC fighter.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's a great UFC fighter. Do you think that's fair? Like, giving him a guy at such a high ranking before he even had a fight?
I mean, if he is the champion at Bellator, I mean, Bellator is the second biggest promotion.
It is. So
I guess it's kind of fair to have him, like, give him some high ranking. I mean, before WEC was brought up, we have
that's a great point. Guess what? WEC is the only organization that's, if you look at the numbers, their carryover stars have beaten more UFC stars. If you look at the numbers, they have Benson Anderson, Donald Cerrone, Dominic Cruz. No, but those guys fought only in divisions that were available in WEC. Just talking about lightweights, that's absolutely true, though. You know, Danny Castillo, all these guys. I think that's also because that brand was under the Zuffa banner. It was Zuffa owned WEC, like the UFC, the Fertitta brothers, their company, yeah. But it's fascinating, man, how it's good, I think, that the UFC is finally making these super fights happen. Because this was, like, arguably the biggest fight on the card. Even though I think Conor stole the spotlight at the last second, because I'm looking at the UFC homepage, and forget about the title match between DJ and Carriazo. It's Conor McGregor spin kicking Dustin Poirier.
Train keeps rolling.
The train keeps rolling for the number. Yeah. I'm so excited for his next fight, man. Him and Cub's such a good matchup.
Kicking Cowboy.
Yup.
That really saved him. His kicks really saved him, and his reach advantage.
Damn, dude. The UFC is getting funner and funner.
Yeah, it is.
Like, they've really kind of hit a stride, I think, starting this semester. Like, this summer was kind of slow, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, a little bit
like,
slow.
the couple of months the UFC were a little slow, and some of their events, they didn't have, like, the most exciting matchups you can think of that they were promoting. Like, their main event could have easily been the third to main event a few years back. And I thought, dude, they're, like, watering down the brand and everything, like what everyone else was saying, but I have to agree. But now, with these new stars, and Conor McGregor, a new star. You know what? Okay, I'm fucking talking too much.
No, go ahead.
Jesus Christ. I'm really pumped up after this event. So, some boxing critics have been saying about what I just said before, UFC not being... They were saying after GSP and Anderson, they were pretty much gone from the sport.
Whatever.
That the UFC is not the same anymore. You know what I'm saying? The UFC is always going to have big stars come up. Conor McGregor arguably can be a bigger star than GSP ever can.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Because GSP had Canada, Conor has Ireland. That's such a great fan base, man. The Irish love fighting.
Yeah, the Irish do love fighting.
That's all they do.
The Canadians are a bunch of passives.
Whoa! I love how we're talking about GSP and you see Canadians and Rory McDonald's there. Fucking.
I don't think Canada is as big as into MMA, as into fighting as Ireland is.
They're a big hockey town too.
Yeah, they're
you know
big in saying.
They might like hockey a little bit more. With GSP gone, they might not really focus on it anymore. Yeah. God, I miss him too. GSP, fuck. He wasn't He wasn't what movie was he? He was in Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had the short role, but it was cool.
He was great in that. Like that was all him, no stunt man. That Superman punch. Did you see that shit?
Yeah, that was nice.
So let's just go down to UFC's next couple of fights. UFC 179 is Jose Aldo versus Chad Mendes. That's not so far away.
It's not far away at all.
Damn. Another thing is UFC's roster has just quadrupled, so they are able to put out events literally every week or literally every half week. I can't keep up with a lot of these.
Yeah, for real.
So I really pick the fights that interest me. Which brings me to my point. Dana White always says, I hate guys bitching and complaining about boring fights when they haven't even taken place. Any fight, I don't care if it's two of our lower rank. If it's a good fight, it's a good fight. Don't judge it by the name quality. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that. I definitely do. Sometimes I just want to watch a fight, so I'll go to Fox Sports 1 and I'll watch anything just to watch it, and I find it exciting either way. I mean, there's some fighters out there that we have two novices, and the fights aren't as technical as spectacular. I'm like, okay. But still, like, overall, I mean, some of the fights for the average fighters is not too bad.
Right. Yeah, I gotta disagree just a little bit.
You think so?
Yeah, because if I was a guy watching you and I spar, I can totally agree with them saying it's not as fun as watching, like, the real. You know what I'm saying? Like, fighters, the UFC, what they're selling item, they're selling themselves on putting out the best fighters in the world, the baddest motherfuckers in the world. That's their product. And when you don't get that, you go, dude, I'm getting short-sold here.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing one person complain about that.
You know, like, I want to see speed that's unnatural for a human to be able to produce. I want to see power and movement that's very unique and different and unhuman-like. You know what I'm saying? That's what there are.
So
at the top level,
it would be more glory-like then, if you put it that way.
Oh, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Man, Glory has become like a redheaded stepchild, this podcast. Because, like, they haven't done shit since literally episode 1.
True.
Think about it. Alright, but anyway, but Glory, you know, and I know every time Glory has an event, it's just stacked.
Yeah, it is stacked.
Every fucking Glory event's so stacked. Especially at tournaments. But Aldo is fighting Mendes in their rematch. I think that's a great matchup. And, God damn, dude. I want Mendes to lose, so I want to see Aldo fight McGregor.
That would be amazing.
It'd be interesting to see him. I think if Mendes fights McGregor, very likely future matchup, McGregor's just going to light him up with that reach. McGregor has a 74-inch wingspan, which is 1 inch longer than Donald Cerrone's, who's a lightweight fighter known for his reach. That's insane.
Yeah, that is insane. My reach is ridiculous.
My reach is 69 inches.
I don't know what my reach is.
You're probably more or less the same, you know? Yeah, but John Jones is 84.
What?
So it's 10. John Jones' reach is almost a foot longer than Conor McGregor's. He can literally poke you with a stick from outside the stadium. That's like what his jab is. That's crazy. Rockhold and Bisping's a good fight. Bisping looked great against Kung Lee, which I know you saw that fight.
Yeah, I did.
That he looked so good against Kung Lee. Shogun's fighting Kane and Verdum in Mexico City. First time UFC's going to Mexico. That's such a great fight. And they're putting all of their Mexican stars on this card. Rightfully so.
They know what they're doing.
They know exactly what they're doing. This is such a good card. Look at this. Kane and Verdum. Ellenberger and Gastelum. Gastelum's Mexican American. Sanchez and I don't know Park, but Ricardo Lamas, Mexican Brazilian, and Bermudez. Damn, that's a great card.
Imagine working for the UFC.
I would love to.
That would be amazing.
That's a dream job. Oh my god, damn it! Cub Swanson already has a matchup with Frankie Edgar.
Oh wow.
That's a great fight too. That's a free fight. Edson Barboza and Green.
You're going to comeback after winning against Penn.
Yup. Damn, if Swanson's booked, and if Bermudez is booked, because the great thing about Conor McGregor and what he did was he was unscathed after this fight.
Yeah.
So he can take a fight literally 4 months after, and he's the guy to do that too. You know, he's not a guy to sit idle. Who's out there then? You got Chad Mendes is booked. Bermuda. That's Ross Pierce. no, it's lightweight. What am I saying? Yeah, I mean I can't. Jeremy Stevens. I mean, just look at the rankings because right now the featherweight division is the most exciting so far. Korean Zombie, no, don't put Korean Zombie up against McGregor, please. We don't want that. All these guys are booked from number 5 to number 7. Nick Lenz is a bad motherfucker, dude. He dropped down from lightweight, so he's huge for that division.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Jeremy Stevens and McGregor would be a great fight because Stevens has a chin. But I don't know if McGregor's power will be too much for him. God, he's 28. How much of a shelf life do you think he has in the sport? If he's 28 now. Because they say athletes hit their stride in the late 20s, early 30s. Like GSP looked phenomenal at 30. You might even say better at 31. He retired like at 32, I believe.
35, maybe?
35? I'd love to see him fight more. He's a special fighter, man. Alright, enough about... Jesus Christ. What else? Oh yeah, briefly, Roy Nelson and Mark Hunt. This is from like a week ago, but that was an interesting matchup because we saw Mark Hunt, a former K1 World Grand Prix champion, versus a man who's never been knocked out before.
Yes, superior striking from Mark Hunt, I must say.
Thanks, Rico.
I was in the first round. I remember the second round because that's when he knocks Roy Nelson out with that right kind of hook.
Yeah, it was a right shovel uppercut.
Yeah, that's
very nuanced punch.
Yeah.
So what I saw in this fight was a guy with kickboxing experience against a guy with MMA striking, successful albeit, but MMA striking experience. It's just a different level. I'm not talking about not even the way they throw their punches. It's their whole attitude about striking. Mark Hunt just looked like a guy who's been doing this as his day job.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, I'm just chilling, picking his shots, not panicking at all, not worrying about that he's behind on the judges' scorecards, just like a sniper, pop, pop, pop. And the movement was different. Mark Hunt did some slick footwork for a big kind of fat guy there. He was walking like Mayweather, not moving like Mayweather, but walking like Mayweather. Yeah. And he was switching stances with his shifting with his front leg and like throwing a switch kick. If you step like you're throwing a switch kick, that allows you to change direction and go the other way immediately.
True.
Yeah.
Well, Nelson was doing a lot of bobbing during the exchanges and just putting his head down.
Right. I mean, I would do the same against Mark Hunt, but that let Mark Hunt know if I start flicking this jab out there, he's gonna get distracted by that and drop his head for that uppercut. Yeah.
He was really thinking ahead of the game and just caught him with that shovel uppercut.
Mark Hunt's an interesting fighter because I love him. I love his fighting spirit, and he's so entertaining, but I don't think he's ever going to be a true contender. After what Junior did to him, Junior's just another level. You know, he's younger, faster. And, come on, Kane?
40.
Against Kane, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not happening.
But I still love that he's putting together these tremendous wins. Like that's a feather in his cap. The only man to knock out Roy Nelson like that, a falling tree knockout. Sometimes this happens in the UFC where they keep around their legends, and even the legends they know inside that I'm not going to be chasing for the title, but I'll still pull these fights out.
That's nice.
That's not so bad, you know.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, I think Faber's going to one day go that way.
Oh yeah, Faber.
Yeah. I mean, he's still looking very fresh, and because he lives such a dedicated martial arts lifestyle. But I don't think he'll ever do that. That must be, yeah. Did you hear Vanderlei retired?
He did?
Vanderlei retired.
Oh, he did?
After he got popped for steroids. Testosterone, I'm sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
Just steroids.
Just that's yeah, insulin. But he did. He just retired, and it was kind of like underwhelming because you would think a guy with so much of a reputation would have a big like going out party, like a last fight in Japan, or like a big. Just retired behind the scenes after getting popped for testosterone.
We gotta watch out for the testosterone. Who got popped for?
Chael Sonnen.
Chael
Who
Sonnen?
also retired. No, didn't he retire from fighting?
Yeah.
I believe so. I know he got cut.
He retired unwillingly.
I know he got cut from the Fox and like their sports broadcast.
Yeah, he did. He got cut from Fox.
Is he done?
I think he
Retired mixed martial. He is. He's done.
But he retired on UFC Tonight. But then, like a couple weeks after, he got cut.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this new testosterone test they're doing to fighters? Have you ever heard? It's kind of old news now, but it's $70,000 a pop for this test, and it's a full-scale blood test that they do for Olympics. They're known for their strenuous blood work, and this is exactly what they do. They go to your house randomly. They have a permit to take your blood on site, and they take it in a vial and they put it in a briefcase. And they handcuff it. I'm not joking. They handcuff this briefcase to this one emissary, and he takes it to the plane. It's always handcuffed to him at all times, and from there right to wherever do the clinical trials.
That's hardcore.
And they test it right there. And what's so good about this is that blood tests, they detect traces of chemicals that you can't detect through urine tests. They say urine tests is not. They're not testing if you're dirty or clean. They're testing your IQ level, because if you're smart enough, you know how to get away with that.
Exactly.
You know how to cycle out your fluids in time. You know how long marijuana or whatever's in your system. Even though I think busting guys for marijuana when they're fighting is a bit too ridiculous. You know, a lot of fights been overturned or turned into a no decision because of that. It's ridiculous. But anyway, they detect things that you can't get with urine tests. You know, and that's what they did to Chael and Vanderlei. Chael's like, these tests are really good. These tests are really good. And he was popped for EPO. And EPO for sure, maybe elevated testosterone, but EPO is the chemical Lance Armstrong took. It gives it dilates your blood cells, your red blood cells. It allows your blood cells to store more oxygen. Tremendous endurance.
That's crazy.
And you can say he was on that when he fought Anderson the first time, which was a tremendous battle of stamina. You know, even though he got caught, but he looked like a raging bull out there. And didn't stop. You know, but yeah, man, there's so many things. Well, okay, what are your thoughts on like these fighters? Vitor, for instance, best example, who's been around the block since like UFC like 12 or some shit. When he was like 18, looking yoked. He was on steroids at the time. You know that? He was taking shit at the time. This is like common knowledge at this point. Vitor, when he was young, he was taking things. That's why he looked like a grown man when he was in high school.
They didn't care back then.
This is the crazy part. Is like they did the numbers and they say he weighed more than he does now, and all of that was muscle mass. So it was like 20 pounds of muscle he packed on from just taking these supplements.
Oh, D. And
the thing in Brazil is that these supplements, it's way more lenient there. It's way more lenient. You can pick it up at like a pharmacy or something. You know what I'm saying? It's way more lenient. There's a follower on I'm not sure. There's a guy on our Instagram. It's not a guy. It's a Brazilian supplement company, and like the logo is like a guy flexing. Like a cartoon guy flexing. I'm like, this looks mad shady, but let's show him some love. Follow? Yeah. But Vitor's the guy who said that everybody's taking this in training camp. If you don't take any kind of supplements, testosterone, you just can't complete a full training camp from injuries. He says everyone's doing it. So what do you think about guys who say what he says? Guys who say 60%, 40%. What are your thoughts? What do you think right now is the status in mixed martial arts about that?
You mean like 60-40 of...
You're like, yeah, what's the status quo?
Really? This is one of the things I don't know.
I'm showing him Rico pictures of Vitor before and after testosterone. Noticeable difference, man.
Oh yeah, this guy's jacked.
When Vitor took TRT, he looked like a muscle shark. And right before that, he's a little, pudgy around the sides. Looked more like a human.
Yeah, that's definitely superhuman.
Alistair Overeem's the best example.
Yeah, that's true.
Jesus Christ. Have you seen Overeem now? In these past couple of fights?
No, how does he
Doesn't look the same like he did when he won K1. You know? He doesn't look like a cartoon character anymore. He looks like a human. Like, these guys, man, like, you wonder how much this is going on in the sport. Because I think
it does go... You seen, how Tyrone Spong used to look?
I don't think... You think Spong takes it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Spong shocked me when he was on, like... yeah. Spong looks fucking huge now.
I'll put Tyrone.
Oh, my bad. To go on?
So, yeah, I guess... Look at this shit. See him now? See him before?
Yeah.
Like,
that could all be hard work, though. And what...
This is him. When he was, like... When he first got into kickboxing.
Damn, dude.
Look at that!
Even his face looks different. He looks like a full-grown man here. Looks like a... Well, he is younger in that picture, granted. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you grow into your size. And why I'm so defensive for Tyrone Spong is that he's been doing this his whole career.
Yeah.
He moved to America where there is more of an emphasis on the strength and conditioning program. He trained with the Black Zillions. And he fought at heavyweight when he shouldn't have, which lets me know his bone structure and muscle mass was bigger than what it could have been. His potential to get big was bigger because he was fighting bigger men when he looked lighter. That's what lets me know he's clean. And it took... Wasn't it kind of gradual, too, you can say, this process, transformation? Because, yeah.
I really don't know. I think it's up to the drugs.
Man, how heartbreaking would it be, though, if you're a kid who climbed up the ranks and finally makes it to the UFC with just your natural talent and body, and you realize your opponent is taking all this shit at weigh-ins. Like, you're drained out of your mind, your body's drained and sucked and dry. The other guy stepped on the scale and he's just veiny and ripped, and you can tell there's something that this guy has an edge on, and it ends up being that. So where do you go from there? Do you resort to following the pack? Do you start to stay clean and lose?
I don't know. I think these things take a toll on your body, though.
They do. I think that's why Vitor's taking testosterone now. Because if you take TRT at a young testosterone at a young age, it drops your levels when you're off of it for the rest of your life. There's like kids in their mid-20s that need testosterone just to stay at their normal levels, like what you and I have. That's so scary, man. So what happens when you're 70? Your body has no energy. That's your life juice for a man.
Yeah, that is your life juice.
Literally, you can't... It hurts to walk around. You can't get up for work. You know what I'm saying? Forget about fighting.
Just existing.
Do you feel like the testosterone like rushing through your system when you're sparring? Like that fucking heightened sense of awareness?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like everything's just glowing in front of your eyes. You know? That's testosterone. Your body just feels more sharper and in tune and warm, and it's just all there.
Yeah, I think overdoing on that is definitely not a good thing for you.
Imagine though, but imagine what we're saying right now to the umpteenth level, like what Vitor was on when he spin head kick, knocked guys out with spinning head kicks. That's what he was. He was like a chemistry project. It would be terrifying it would be really disappointing if we realized behind the locker rooms like fucking every UFC fighter's doing it. Or in training camp. But with these new blood tests, they got to be more careful.
Yeah,
their handlers have to be more careful.
I heard somebody talk about cycling and said that a lot of people...
They
said like everybody who's on the top is taking something.
They had to go to, I think it was number 15 in the race to find the guy who was clean when Lance Armstrong was winning the Tour de France.
Really?
Yeah. They had to go down to number 15 to find a clean guy. I mean, did you ever see the Tour de France? It's like the most boring shit ever. Because
for real? To be honest, I kind of like the Tour de France.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, because I've been, I'm into track.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of into endurance sports. It's not exciting, but it's like you watch in amazement of what these guys are doing. I've always been fond of like the people who do like endurance sports as opposed to like bodybuilders and stuff like that. So running and cycling were always things that like interested me. So when I saw like Lance Armstrong like just pedal like non-stop for hours, I'm like, what the hell? And to know that he takes EPO, that's like kind of. But even that, with that being said, I mean, the second place guy is taking EPO too, so in a way, it does make him a bit better than the guy.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly. So we'll end on this. Okay, first of all, the Tour de France, you're right. Like, it's unnatural. They're just like a rabbit, like a hamster on a wheel, up and down hills. It's dangerous. People have died in the Tour de France too. They've fallen off cliffs and shit too in the rain. And it's nice to see the countryside. The French countryside is beautiful. But like, what I mean is, every time I turn on the TV every summer on Versus Network or something, they're just cycling. I'm like, oh, they're cycling still. Go back to, oh, they're still cycling.
I mean, I don't sit and watch the whole thing.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong.
But that's what I mean. They're always fucking cycling, and he was on EPO.
I guess it's kind of it puts you on a fork where you have to choose: do you want to continue being successful at your sport, whether it's cycling or fighting, or do you just quit and just enjoy the sport and do something else,
like a hobby almost?
Yeah, because especially with cycling, it's like if you're winning these races and then you realize the person next to you is taking these substances, and you know you could outbest him if you take the substances, that kind of changes you. Yeah. If you decide, hey, I want to be the best, and I'll do whatever it takes.
That's the idea, right?
Yeah.
The capitalist American idea. I'll do whatever it takes to be number one. That's a dangerous animal, man. Yeah. Because, like, you ever watch The Wolf of Wall Street?
Yes.
I haven't, but like I know the synopsis. So I'm a big bullshitter. But like, this is a common theme you see in a lot of movies where you see this young buck who is very talented and his heart is pure. And then with his skills, he makes it to the top of whatever field is in, and he realizes all the guys are just scumbags. They're really good at what they're doing, but behind the scenes, they're super corrupt and dirty. They steal money, and the young guy, his ideas of his outlook on people and business change, and he becomes a villain. You see this all the time, the falling of the hero. And I think that's what happens in these sports. It's like, you realize, man, if I'm going to put food on my table, or even for my kids, there's no way I can't take this stuff if everyone's doing it. Yeah. If that's the platform, you gotta match it. That's so scary, man. Like, I would never put a syringe to my body. BJ Penn is a fucking trooper because he didn't even take IVs after weigh-ins, which you're completely allowed to do. IV is fine. He even wouldn't do that because he felt that was cheating. BJ to this day, and him, John Fitch, Mac Danzig, but especially BJ, like, those guys have stayed clean their whole careers, and they pride themselves in that. One of the reasons why they don't like have BJ, when he was fucking clean, knocked out Sean Shirk, who like before that got popped. One of the first guys in the UFC to get popped. That's what lets you know.
Little muscle monkey.
That's why BJ's such a bad motherfucker. I don't care how he looked against Frankie Edgar. He was fucking dudes up like he was on steroids against guys who were. So all right, man. So what'd you think about that Gokhan Saki clip I showed you? This is the final thing.
Oh, man. It was very dramatic. And
the sparring and that.
Oh, yeah. Gokhan Saki, like, kind of whooped over his ass, and he was definitely holding back. If he really wanted to drop over him, I think he could have. I mean, what I liked about that, you get to see, like, a different level of sparring. This is not me and Jim sparring over here.
They spar differently, though. They spar in the Dutch style.
Yeah, they really do spar in the Dutch style, too.
When you're flat-footed, like, the game's a little different. Yeah. We don't like to stay flat-footed, Rico and I, because we think that hinders us because physically we can't take those shots.
Oh, hell no.
We just can't stand in the pocket and do that.
I don't like getting hit anyway.
Yeah, and I don't think it's for the long term very... Now I'm talking shit about Dutch kickboxing. But Dutch kickboxing has a variety of ways to apply it. But Gokhan Saki is more or less traditional. In the pocket, defense, up right in front of your opponent and trading blow after blow.
I think it's good sometimes. Yeah. But to like just to stay with that style for like a whole round, I wouldn't do that to myself.
Did you hear the sounds he was making during the combination? It's like off.
Yeah.
off. Fucking animals, man.
But the moments before the walkout, you could see like the intensity in his face and how much you wanted to win that. Even after fighting, you said 3 fights. To get,
we're talking. So that we're just talking about Gokhan sparring and beating the hell out of Overeem, and this we're talking about like his entrance.
Yeah,
into the Glory Tokyo tournament where he had to fight 3 guys in one night. So this was after the first 2, and yeah, exactly. It was so fucking intense. So that Mike's gym, the coach's name is Mike Passanier, and he has a tradition of before his fighters walk out, taking this giant like real sea sponge and just throwing water in their face, like "fuck you," water in your face. That's to wake them up and to psych them out. And it starts whispering in their ear all the way leading up to the walkout, like "You got this, you got this, you fucking." He's one of the best coaches in the world, and that gym breeds killers. And you know what that let me know? That's such a stressful fucking job. What Gokhan Saki did, I'm like, because I saw the whole documentary, the process leading up to that, it is so mentally taxing to know that
on the fighter.
Yeah, the tournament style, let alone the tournament style, like, yeah, you picked up a great first round knockout in your first match, beat the other guy in the second, but now everything's riding on this. It's almost like the previous accomplishments when you're in the driver's seat don't even matter. To you, the idea that you just knocked the fuck out of Anderson Braddock Silva, one of the best in the world, like in the first round, it means nothing because you're only focusing on the carrot at the end of the stick.
Yeah.
Like, I think Saki, when you're in that position, he doesn't even recognize the fact that he's fighting Semi Schilt, arguably the best K1 heavyweight ever, 4-time K1 Grand Prix champion. He just looked at him as a target, as like a guy I have to conquer, not about the man and the reputation. Like, that's the way I got from that, is that it's such a mentally stressful job. Like, you think you and I, we go through hard times because like a school test is equivalent to that. There's direct punishment for failure. Direct. For fighters, it's like that times 20. Your reputation, the pay, your hurt. Sometimes a hurt, it's long term.
Yeah. Like
getting your leg snapped by a Husmer Polharis knee bar. Fuck that.
For real.
Imagine going into a fight knowing that you won't be able to walk possibly for the next like holiday season. Fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's so much, man. Like, that's what let me know. Saki, the reason why he excels at what he does, why he's the best kickboxer in the world now, is because he is focused. Like, his focus is unnatural. You know what I'm saying? Look in his eyes is something special.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That was the shit. So, with that, thank you everyone for tuning into number 8 of the podcast.
Yeah, number 8. Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're almost there to our milestone 10. So, keep tuning in. We're bi-weekly. At least we try to keep it, even though school is chasing our asses.
Yeah, it really
is right on our tails. Yeah, you're right. We gotta head home now. So, thank you for everyone. Keep things real. Stay cool.
Peace.
I really talked a lot this time. It's all good. I've been holding this.